Hey guys, welcome back to another PS2 Memories video. Here we are taking a look at a budget styled racing game by the name of Drag Racer USA that was released for the PlayStation back in 2006 and was published by Phoenix Games. This game was also a part of a series of racing games, more notably with another game in the series known as D-Unit Drift Racing that was also released by the same developers. The game utilises the same engine for both games and has a very similar playstyle, but there is certain elements that are different. With Drag Racer USA, the game focuses pretty much as it says around drag racing, where you get from point A to point B in the quickest time while trying to defeat an opponent on the track. So essentially it's a 1v1 style race, when compared to D-Unit Drift Racing, where you can have multiple cars on the track at any one time, but the focus in that game is not to win races by beating them outright. You have to accumulate enough drift points and be on top of the leaderboard to win the race, so you have to have the most amount of drift points at the end of a race to be able to win. Now these games essentially are budget games at their core, and it really does show in the gameplay visuals and the overall style of the game, as the graphics are, compared to other games, would be considered very low quality. It definitely looks like a budget title, almost to a point that this looks like more like a PS1 style racing game, or even a low budget PS1 style racing game. And the thing is, D-Unit Drift Racing is pretty much exactly the same game, only just with different gameplay elements, but a lot of the environments are very similar. But you race on out and out tracks where you can complete laps, whereas in this game you don't. You just have a stretch to go through, like a sprint race, and you have to get to one point to another within the quickest time. And there are a few other type of drag racing games, most notably on the PlayStation 2, from other types of developers. Even more mainstream games, the likes of even the Need for Speed games, more or less likes of Need for Speed Underground 2, which is also one of the best games on the PS2 in terms of racing games. But it also has drag racing modes in it as well, which is also very good. So when you compare that to this game, in fairness, even though it does what it says it's going to do, but it doesn't live up to the hype compared to a lot of the more mainstream games. As it's a budget title, it isn't executed as well as a lot of other more higher end games on the system, and it clearly shows in the gameplay visuals and the elements within, as even the gameplay and the overall sense of speed doesn't feel as quick compared to other games, but even the handling characteristics can also be quite twitchy. Now, not much is really known about these games, and even in terms of reviews, from what I've been able to find online, the games got mixed to about average reviews at best, as there's not really an awful lot to either of these type of games. I have done a review on D-Unit Drift Racing, so again I'll make sure to leave a link to that video in the description also, and you can see the similarities but also compare the two to see what you think for yourself. It is one of those games though that if you are into drag racing, it definitely tries to put a different spin on it to some degree, with the environments in question and some of the hurdles and challenges that you have to face. But the gameplay itself isn't overly long. The tracks will be over in a couple of seconds. Within say a minute and a half, you'll have pretty much got the race completed, as you're just racing across a single stretch to get from point A to point B, and that's pretty much it for the entirety of the race. So as you go through the game, you do have the access and the ability to be able to unlock other cars and tracks, and even upgrade your vehicles to make your gameplay experience a lot easier. But you have to win races and accumulate points in order to do that, and it can take quite a while for you to do that in the game. So you'll find that if you are doing that, you might even find that you may just give up before you've actually done that. And the gameplay, even to a point when you start off, can be quite tough, as a lot of the cars you race against are usually and generally a lot faster than the car you start off with. So more often than not, you probably will lose a lot of races, and it can be just down to sheer luck that you win races a lot of the times. But all in all, it is what it is. It's not a fantastic title, but it's not the worst race I've ever played. But it is worthwhile to play through, just to experience all of these quirky and different types of games, as there were a lot of them on the PS2. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on these games if you have played them yourself, and if so, what did you think of them? Did you enjoy them, or maybe not so much? And if you'd like to see more of these style videos where I do reviews and gameplay of these unique and quirky and very obscure racing games that were also released on the PS2, then be sure to leave a like on the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be updated when future videos are released. And to see more of these obscure racing games and budget style games that were also released on the system, be sure to check out the videos here on screen to find out more. So again, be sure to jump over to those videos, and I will see you all in the next one.